voice always scares me.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you so much for meeting us today. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
All right. And so can you please introduce yourself to our viewers who have not known you or seen your brand as of yet?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Hi, my name is Ashley Marie Garcia. I am the CEO and founder of BGT Magazine. We are a magazine for women of color in the travel community who may have never seen themselves represented like in the travel community before. Growing up, I never thought traveling was something that was meant for me. I would watch TV and only see like rich white kids get to travel and do these things. And I'm like, yeah, that's never going to be me. I'm a little brown girl from the neighborhood. And then I grew up and I was like, yo, I want that to be me. And so I made it so. And I decided to make the magazine more so, I think, for my niece who was 5 then. I was like, I'm going to put this magazine together. I'm going to invite all these women of color to be a part of it. I'm going to show it to her so that she never has to doubt herself, you know, growing up. Like she could see people that look like her doing it. And it ended up just continuing to be a thing. Like I never stopped after that first issue.
Oh my gosh, that is honestly so amazing. As an avid traveler, I love seeing that. I actually believe I started following you before Kira
Oh,
like
yeah.
sent me an Instagram post. She's like, "Oh my God, this girl travels too." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, yes,
Yeah.
more Hispanic people traveling." I love that.
Yes.
All right, and so how did you stated that you started this because you didn't see a lot of girls that looked like you in the travel industry. So how did it all come to be? How did you start? Was it like a first post or you started taking photography? Like tell us how you began your magazine.
Well, I've been a photographer like my whole life. Since my dad first put like a little Canon film camera into my hands, I've been shooting. So I feel like I never knew what to do with my photography. Then building the magazine, I was like, this just all makes sense. I'm sorry, what was the question again?
How did you get started? Like how did
How did I
you
get started?
go transition that into your
Right.
magazine?
So then I posted something on my regular like personal Instagram. I hadn't had the Brown Girl Travels Instagram yet. And it was like a call for submission. And then I was like, you know what, this needs its own page, and made it its own page. And then I reached out to Jessica Salgado, who I kind of knew. She's a poet. She's super amazing in case anyone here doesn't know her. She's from LA. And like I kind of knew her, kind of didn't, but I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing. Like, would you mind reposting it? She reposted it, no hesitation. And I swear, like that was the tipping point for Brown Girl Travels, because so many people saw that she posted it and they were like, we love Yassi. This girl must be legit. So they followed me. And like, honestly, that was like a big turning. Like my following went up crazy. And so many women hit me up and they were like, yo, we saw your post, like Yassi's post. Like, we want to be a part of this. I ended up having 24 women in that first issue that were told stories, did poems. Yeah, it was wild. I didn't turn anybody down. Like I was like, let's do this. Like I'm gonna make it happen. The first issue ended up being 112 pages thick.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually have it right here.
Oh my God, I love that cover is so cute. I'm obsessed. Oh my goodness.
The girl who drew it, her name is Bianca Misa. She's super amazing. Like we're homegirls now, but she was one of the contributors. And I saw that she could draw, and I was like, hey, do you mind like meeting with me? Like, and can I commission you to like draw the logo for Brown Girl Travel? So we sat together, we brainstormed, and she came up with this. And I was like, oh my God, yes. And so this was the first cover. This one's not stapled, but I literally stapled them myself. Like I got a stapler, I was stapling them, I was folding them to turn them into books. Like it was a whole thing. I got InDesign. I learned how to do InDesign for the first time. It took me a year. A year. Yeah, it blows my mind. Because I didn't know anything. Like I didn't know how to do InDesign. I didn't know shit. And so I just had to like figure it out. I had to YouTube stuff. I had to ask friends. I had to like, what do I do about this? And what about like credits to people? And like, I did all this research and I put it together. After I put that one together, I had a whole release party and I was like, yo, we're doing this again. Like we're going to do this again. And now we do community events. So like we're evolving.
Oh my God. I love your energy for this. This is amazing. And that you learn this all on your own, especially like you don't get to hear that side of the story too often on like that, how you had to learn like outside of school and stuff. Like you had to teach yourself through YouTube and through like making connections with people. I think that's really amazing.
Yeah.
And you stated that you've been doing events. I know recently that you did a a book fair event, correct?
I am organizing a book fair to happen on March 13th in Highland Park, Los Angeles. But I've had a back to school event before. We gave out over 300 backpacks filled with goodies. We had mariachis, we had like 15 or 16 vendors, and then we had a free self-defense class, and we had sound bowls, a writing workshop with Angela Aguirre from Millennial Mija. It was a big community turnout. It was so beautiful, and I could only hope this next one is just as beautiful.
Oh, that is amazing. And so for this book fair, can you please provide us with any additional information so that way people know where to go and where to look for it?
Yeah, so the book fair is going to be here in Highland Park, California, Los Angeles. It's literally down the street. It's where I had my first book released for the first copy. So I'm super excited. The venue is called Avenue 50 Studio. It's been a studio and like a community place in the neighborhood for years now, for a long time. So it's really awesome to be here again. We're going to be having vendors. I'm trying to lock down these mariachis again. I love the mariachis. That's what I'm here for. I can go home after they're done performing. I'm like, y'all are good. But we're also having a bunch of books. So we got like brand new books. Somebody sent in $500 worth of brand new books, all by POC authors. I'm so like, oh my God, it was a girl I went to middle school with. Like, I can't even believe, like, she's just was like, I love what you're doing. Like, I want to help give back to the community too. Not a Cult Publishing, who publishes Jessica Salgado. They sent me a handful of poetry books, like including some of hers and a few others. So we have a lot of really great free books. And then we have a bunch of gently loved books, gently used books that have been donated primarily by the community or by the Glendale Library and a few other places. So we have a ton of books. All of them are going to be free. I want to set them up in a beautiful way. Like, you're walking to a Barnes and Nobles and you're like, damn, this is nice. Like, I don't know. And then you look in the back and you're like, how much is this book though? No one has to worry about that. I want people to walk up and be like, this is really for me, and then take it home. And there's like no limit. The only thing I ask, if there's multiple copies of a book, you only take one. But otherwise than that, like, have at it. They're yours. We're gonna have free bookmarks, and a few other cute little things. The like LA Public Libraries, and they have like their mobile bike there. So it should be good.
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing. I'm very sad I can't go. Fly to LA. Oh my goodness, that sounds honestly really amazing, especially if you're giving back to the community and making all these connections there. That sounds really beautiful. And within your travel magazine, obviously I have to ask a question. What is your favorite place to travel to?
Oh man. Okay. So, pandemic alert, I haven't been able to travel for the past few years, and I've been like, I have really bad anxiety. So I've also been scared to even travel since then, which is something I talk about in the next issue. But like, my favorite place that I have traveled to, I guess, New Orleans. Honestly, New Orleans, like, it was, wow, the food was amazing, the community was amazing. Like, me and my boyfriend went out there and we made friends like that we still talk to today. Like, I ran into people I knew out there from LA, and we're like, oh shit, let's hang out. Like, it was so good. I can't even, wow. I remember at some point me and my boyfriend were walking down the street, and a lot of the people there in the community will try to hustle the tourist. It's a thing. They make a lot of money like that. I'm from the neighborhood though. And so some dude walks up to us and he tells me, oh, I bet I could tell you where you got your shoes at. And I was like, I bet I got them on my feet. And he was like, oh, and I was like, you can't hustle a hustler. And oh God, it was just a beautiful moment. Like, he was like, damn, all his homeboys laughed. Like, I don't know. It was like they recognized, we saw each other, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very beautiful. And I remember that so much. Also, like, all of the great things that we had like encountered there. New Orleans is a beautiful city. It's a beautiful city. And the vibes, like the energy of the people that actually live there, like, are amazing. And like, I felt the food was like, somebody made it in their kitchen. Like, I went to somebody's grandma's house and they made me food. That's what I was like everywhere we went. So I don't know. It really spoke to me.
Oh, right. I've never been to New Orleans. I really do want to go. It's on my list. on my list. I always hear great things. There has never been one person that has been there and had a negative review to provide me. So I want to go so badly. And let's see, do you have any travel tips for like potential travelers, especially during the pandemic where people are still a little scared of like planes and crowded spaces? Do you have any personal tips that you can share?
I feel like because my first few travels were solo. Like I traveled alone. In fact, the first issue of Brown Girl Travels is all about solo traveling. So like I had went to Portland, I went to Chicago, and I went to New York completely alone. So I had to like figure some things out, you know? And I feel like one of the most important things I could tell to people who are traveling, because I'm like all about safety, is walk with determination. Walk like you already know where you're going. Like you already are a part of this neighborhood, and trust me, no one will look at you sideways. Like if I ever got lost and was like, oh shit, I don't know where I'm going, I would pop into a store and hit the restroom or something. And I'd never let anybody catch me like looking at a map on my phone, because then you become kind of a target. Especially like being a woman alone, you know, like people are looking out for these things. Like when I was in New York, I was like, nobody's gonna catch me by myself and ask me if I need help. In fact, people were coming to me asking me for directions. They're like, do you know how to get to here and here? And I'm like, yeah, I think. So I really feel like being aware of your surroundings and like more or less knowing what you're gonna do for the day. You know, don't have a set schedule, but like know the neighborhood, do your research, look at street views. Like I looked at street views to see what the street looked like before I went down there, type shit. Also like hand sanitizer everywhere. Fanny pack. Fanny packs are my new favorite thing. I haven't traveled with one yet, but I just got one and I think it's like game changer. And you just put your hand sanitizer in there, you put all your necessities, boom, boom, bam, on you, on your purse. You can put it underneath your shirt. Like
yes.
Nobody, I'm like such a scaredy cat, low key. It's so funny. I'm like, yeah, travel, but I'm so scared to travel. Like everything, all my tips are on how to be safe. Like
you can never be too careful.
You you grow up Latina, and like my parents were like always told me like I couldn't go places alone because nunca sabe, you know, you never know. You never know. So like when I went to travel, they didn't even know that I traveled alone. Like those first few times, I lied to them and I told them I was with friends because I felt like if I told them I went alone, they would have never let me.
That is the Latina way.
Yeah, they eventually found out. I told them when the book came out. I was like, here is a book and a letter. And I was like, I went to New York alone, surprise. Read all about it.
Don't get mad at me, please.
My mom was livid. She was like, I'm so angry and I'm so worried for you, even though you're home.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like, I'm okay though. And she's like, wait, what if you weren't? So safety is such a big thing to make sure you let people know where you're at, no matter what. Like I had a friend, I was letting her know, hey, Renee, I'm here today. I'm going to go here today. You should hear back from me by this time. Safety, y'all. Safety, hand sanitizer, and hand sanitizer.
Yes, you can never be too harsh on safety. And these people are always looking for you when you are alone. They are watching. And I moved here to New York like a year ago. So there's still places I don't know. Some trains I've never been in. I had one guy that just stared at me and followed me off the train.
Oh my God, that's fucking scary.
It was horrifying. I was real quick though. I called him. It was like someone random be like, hey, you're waiting for me outside, right? With your car? I'm at that supermarket you're at. And my mom's like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, yeah, I want to go see you outside. I'll meet you at the grocery store. And they're like, oh, okay. And then the guy like vetoed keys because a motorcycle or a car, like a giant car came in at the exact same time.
Yeah.
But yes, no, you got to be careful with traveling. Always put your location on. It's scary out there.
That's smart though. What you did, I love that. You picked up the phone, no hesitation. You just got to make these moves too. Yeah, you can't look like you know. Yeah, where you at? I'm here. We're good.
Yeah, you gotta be quick.
I like to use reflections too. Like wherever I'm going, there's reflections. Like let's say the train is passing you by, you're gonna see a reflection. So I'll be looking at the side of it. I see you walking behind me.
Like I'm watching. Always gotta be careful.
Gotta be aware. But yeah.
So wait, I'm so sorry. My brain, I had questions. And also, where can people like purchase your book? or your magazine?
So I just put up a website, and I am working on the like shopping part of it where you could just like do it. But on my website, it shows you what is available, like what's still in print, like what I have available. And then you could DM me via Instagram and purchase it. Sounds so lame. Doesn't sound official.
Girl, everything you said up until like you're just like DM, I'm like, this is extremely official. There's plenty of people that pay through Instagram too, so there is no hesitation on that.
Thanks. Yeah, it took me forever to figure out like getting up a website, and I did it like all alone. And so now I just need to figure out how to like set up that side of it, where that e-commerce side of it. There you go, that's the word, e-commerce, where people could easily purchase stuff online. So we'll get there. That's hopefully a goal for the year. But like it's literally like I am Brown Girl Travels. Like I am the company, I am the photographer, the editor, the writer, the social media manager.
Oh my goodness.
So everything is really hard.
Girl, trust me, I know. With like Kyra, same thing. She made her own website, all of it, most of the marketing. She hired me literally last year.
We were actually talking about it the other day when we were together. I was like, girl, what's it like being a small business owner? She's like, it's hard. I was like, I know. I was like, we're all struggling and nobody knows we're struggling, but we are.
It's hard. It's hard to bring out content. Oh my God. Hi, pupper friend.
Yeah, he wants to lay down with the mama. He's a good boy.
And oh my gosh, my brain. I have not had coffee today, so a little slow on questions.
Girl, it's 2 over there. It's 1 over there for you. You need coffee.
I need coffee, especially in New York City. You need coffee. It's in our bloodstream at this point.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Florida, like Kyra.
Oh, yay. Okay.
So I'm in the Orlando part. She was in Jacksonville, but we both ended up moving about the same time. And she went to LA and I went here. So very exciting. Very
cool. So you met like afterwards?
So I met her shortly after I graduated college. So I have a writing degree in University of Tampa. And she hired me like right off the bat. She was just like, hey, I need a content writer. And now I'm doing interviews for YouTube. And she's just started her podcast, in which I will be joining soon on that end too.
Yay. It's super. Yeah, she's doing so much. She's doing so much. It's crazy. It's so exciting to meet you too, because you're part of it.
Very exciting. She talks about you all the time too. She's like, oh my God, you have to see my friend promote her book fair. It's so exciting. And I'm like, yes, of course. She said books. And I was like, let's go promote. Let's please.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people are like, they hear free books and they're like, what? Okay, fuck yeah.
Oh, especially during the pandemic era right now where everyone's reading, they're like, books free? Yeah. 2 favorite words right now. And oh my gosh, the questions, brain, work, process. Oh my goodness. There we go. And right, here's the question I wanted to ask. So with Brown Girl Travels, do you have any goals? Where do you see this magazine going in the next like 5 years or so? At least long-term goals.
So we recently have evolved a little bit from just creating the magazine to also helping other women become self-published authors. So I'm doing like BGT publications. And I've helped like a few people, like Angie of Millennial Mija. We created a whole little like chat book for her. She put it in, she told me everything she wanted in it. I put it together for her and we published it. And now she has like her own little piece. I'm doing that for other people. Some people are trying to do like become poets, you know, and they already have all the poems and they're like, I don't know what to do next. Got you. That's where BGT comes into play. And I lay it out for them. So I really want to continue to help other women of color also become their own self-published author. Like it's not, you know, a Brown Girl Travel production. No, it is that this is yours. You know, I just kind of helped you do it. But also like something I really want to do with my best friend since like 4th grade is create a BGT documentary.
Ooh. That is amazing. Oh my goodness.
So like, yeah, I'm like, I don't even know if I want to talk about it. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I just imagine that like me and her would drive out to meet like maybe 5 other women of color, drive out to like in the US, drive out to them, meet them right before they're about to travel somewhere. This is what I had hoped, you know. I can give them a camera. That's what I had hoped. Like, you know, those like thrift store cameras that you like camcorder type things. Would
Oh,
love
yes.
to give one to them and be like, all right, here, like I came to visit you right before you leave to wherever you're going. Here's this camera. Now you tell the story. And because you know, who the fuck am I to tell somebody's story? So, like, so
Oh my
basically, like,
gosh.
yeah, it would be like, you know, it would be like me in a road tripping with my best friend, and then also simultaneously like these stories being told by these women who are going off into the world. You know what I'm saying? We'll get there. We'll get there. Long-term goals.
That sounds honestly amazing. And a very immersive story to tell through documentary. I love that.
My
Oh my
friend
God.
is a videographer. She was actually at the Super Bowl yesterday. Hey, go Raiders!
Yes.
Oh man, I love her so much. So she's a videographer. She's really good. Like she's amazing. So I think this is not just like a goal for Brown Girl Travels, but like a goal that me and her have kind of always had for ourselves, like since we were children. Like, oh, we're gonna go on this big road trip one day and we're gonna take pictures and it's gonna be a whole production. You know, we didn't know what the production was gonna be, and like it's gonna be this.
Oh my gosh. That I look forward to seeing it. I hope I see it soon. That as soon as you share it to the world, I'm gonna be sharing
Yeah.
it, promoting it for you too, being like, yeah, gotta check this girl out. Travel, Brown Girl Travels needs to be everywhere, honestly. Especially don't get a lot of POC travelers and photographers out there. And where can people find your work? Is there a website? Any additional things that you can provide to our viewers so that way they can check out and look at and see?
Oh, I lost you. I'm sorry. 1 second. Okay. Yes. So if you go on the Brown Girl Travels Instagram, I have like a little link, and that will take you to my homepage, my website, like Brown Girl Travels. It's so ghetto. Brown Girl Travels WordPress.wordpress.com.
Okay.
Yeah, and so there's my website. You can find it on my Instagram page, and then we also have other links and other things with what's going on, like how to submit your own work to be featured in Brown Girl Travels, like if you just wanted like a small column or whatever, or if you wanted to be a writer. Also on the website, when we are looking for writers and stuff, like I always put that out there, like, hey, writing opportunity for BGT. So anybody could have their work published with me for the magazine. Like just hit me up and be like, hey, this is the idea I'm pitching, and I will figure out how to make it happen, because nobody is turned down over here. We all have a story to tell, and I want to help you guys tell your stories.
Oh, that's so wonderful. So yes, please check out Brown Girl Travels. Of course, send a DM, go through her website. She does not say no. There's always a story to tell. So once again, thank you so much for meeting with us today. And I can't wait to see what you do in the future.
Yay, thank you so much. Y'all too. I'm excited for this podcast.
Check it out every Monday, guys.
Monday podcast going. Actually, didn't you guys just release an episode today?
Yes, we did. We did release an episode this morning. I believe it should be, what was it? West Coast time being 6 a.m.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, so I'm going to listen to that now.
Hey, thank you. So see you guys next time, and bye.